Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a different video for you guys. I'm going to be comparing affordable drugstore concealers against each other and letting you know what I think of them, sort of reviewing them, saying which ones I think are best. And I wanted to do this for you because I do really like affordable and drugstore concealers, and I wanted to let you know what I think of them. Some of them are ones that I've used before, some of them are new ones that I've got and trying out for the first time. So if you do like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and keep on watching for the full video. So the first concealer is going to be the Perfect Stay 10 Hours from Miss Sporty, and it looks like this, and this retails for around I think £3, and you can get this in Superdrug, and you can also get it in multi-buys, which means you can get 3 for £5. So I'm going to just go with a clean bare face with lots of dark circles, as you can see. So normally I wear concealer under my eyes and use it a little bit for contour and lightening. So I'm just going to start with this Miss Sporty, and I'm going to put it under this eye. So I haven't got any foundation on, I'm just doing this to show how well does it conceal my problem area, which is my under eye. Obviously some people might use concealer also on spots, but with this test I'm just going to keep it under the eyes where my main problem part is. So I'm going to just apply it like the way I would normally put my concealer. Normally I put my concealer on top of foundation, but today I'm just going to put it straight onto bare skin so that we can get through and try lots of the different ones out. So far this one, I do like this one for the price. Because I bought this in a 3 for £5, it worked out at less than £2, so this is super cheap. The consistency, as you can see, it's a light, lighter than my skin, which is good. And what shade is this? It's number 1 light. The consistency isn't super thick, so I have had to put quite a lot of product on. It feels, the consistency is quite thin, but it feels quite nice. Yeah, it's not sticky, but probably the main thing I've noticed, it's quite thin consistency. So I did put a little bit on the eyelid just to balance out. We will blend that out, but on the other eye, under eye area, I'm going to use the Be Creative Art Edition Volume 5 Face palette for light skin tones, and it looks like this, and this was from Superdrug as well, and this does have a concealer in it. So this is a sort of cream based concealer, so I'm just going to take that with my finger, and we're going to draw this under the eye. So I do normally use liquid concealers. I've got a Bobbi Brown more expensive one, which is this sort of cream style. So these cream styles can be nice, and they're also very good for when you're putting over maybe areas like spots and smaller areas, but we're going to put this under the eye and see how this looks. So this is a good shade, it's nice and light, which is good. It's actually giving quite a lot of coverage here quite quickly, and then I'll just put some on the eyelid as well to see, doing that same triangle shape. So that is the two before blend it out. So straight away I feel like this one feels thinner consistency and this one feels heavier consistency for coverage. So we're going to blend it out just using a damp and real technique sponge. So we're just going to tap motions to see how this blends out and how it looks. So obviously it is looking a bit different because I haven't got my full makeup on, but I just wanted to test to see how it actually covers the dark circles. So it blends out quite easy, that one. And this Be Creative palette, normally £7.99 I think, but it was actually on sale for I think around £3, and it comes with other products as well, like face powder, but I'm just taking the concealer from it to see what it's like. Then we're going to blend out the Miss Sporty side, see how that covers. So that is the concealers blend out. I'm going to quickly set with RCMA powder and my Sigma tapered F35 brush just to see how they sit with powder, as I do always set my concealer so that it doesn't crease. So we'll just set it so that we can see how the finished look is for concealer. So that's the powder on the Miss Sporty and the Be Creative from Superdrug. I feel like on camera they look quite similar colour, they're good for fair skin. They do have other shades, which is good, and I think probably from a coverage point of view the Be Creative is giving a fuller coverage, and the Miss Sporty I feel like you can see more of my black rings. So I feel out of these two the Be Creative one does give fuller coverage and the Miss Sporty is more light coverage. So this is, Miss Sporty would be good this side if you don't want very bad dark circles. Also if you don't want to spend very much money, well both are very cheap, but yeah, this is super cheap, it's under £2, the Miss Sporty. This Be Creative side definitely is more full coverage, so that would be better for people that want a more full coverage look or have darker circles like me. So on to the next affordable drugstore concealers, which we're going to compare, is the Lasting Perfection from Collection, and it is in shade Cool Medium 2, and it looks like this. In Superdrug they put so much safety, secure packaging on, so try to get that open so it looks a bit messy. So I've never used this one, so we'll see. It'll be nice to see how this one goes on and what it's like. And then we are also going to do on the other eye LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this is in shade Porcelain. I have used this before and really like it, so let's see which of these ones work out best. So guys, for the Lasting Perfection from Collection, this is around £4.20 and you get it in Superdrug and also in Boots for those of you in the UK. So I'm just going to put that on this eye, and again drawing a triangle shape under the eye. This comes in about 4 shades I think, so this is the second lightest shade and then they had an even lighter shade. So I like this shade because it had a little bit of a peachy tone to it, which helps cover black rings even better. So far I like the little nib is neat, so you can be quite accurate where you're applying it, and the product does glide. It feels fuller coverage than the Miss Sporty, so I don't feel like I have to put on as much of the product, but I'm going to try to put on a similar amount of product just so that we are keeping it equal across the comparison. So that is the Collection side, and then we will go on with the LA Pro Conceal and LA Girl Pro Conceal. I get this from Beauty Bay and it's £5. Comes in lots of different shades and it's got a nice little nib, so you can just brush it straight on. They do a lot of shades in this, so I would actually for shade, for like shade selection, this is super good. Like you can go from really light fair skin people like myself right down to tanned, black, really pretty much any skin tone you've got, it's gonna work with an LA Girl concealer. And they also are very affordable, so you can buy it like I said on Beauty Bay, which is a really good website. So we're just going to do, again on the eyelid, this one's a little bit more of a lighter yellow undertone shade, so it is looking a little bit different colour-wise, but we're here to see the concealing level. So again with the Real Technique dampened sponge, we're just going to blend those out. So I'm now just going to go on and set it with the RCMA powder again, just to see how it sits with powder. So this is the Collection 2000 side and this is the LA Girl concealer side. I think out of these two I prefer the LA Girl. Definitely I feel like they had a way better colour selection so that you could actually match better to your skin than the Collection 2000, and the price point is very similar. This is the Collection, which is £4.20 and this is only £5, so it's only 80p of a difference. I feel like the LA Girl side was easier to blend out, and I think from a coverage point of view they're similar coverage, but in sort of, I think LA Girl gives a little bit more coverage than the Collection, and I feel like the way it sits on the skin, the finish is way more seamless on the side of LA Girl than here. I feel like the product more sits on the face rather than the LA Girl blended out super easy. So of these two, I'm definitely going to say the LA Girl. So on to the next two affordable drugstore concealers. We're going to review the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Erase concealer, and this is in shade Light, and this retails for $7.99, and the Rimmel Match Perfect in shade Ivory, and it looks like this. And I've not used this one before. I have tried this one before, and it's a good concealer, and I'm going to try this and see how good is the Rimmel one, and this is $5.99. So on this side I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Erase Eye, and this little one is a twisty style and it's got a little cushion, so you just twist it to get the product up, and then we're going to draw that onto the eye again. This sponge is lovely on the skin. It feels really soft, and also it packs on a very smooth coverage, so you don't get lines and sort of streaky looking concealer. So I do really like the applicator with the little sponge head. It just makes things really smooth, and it feels like it's not tugging on your under eye, making you more wrinkly, so I like that. And it does give a very full coverage very quick. As you can see, boom, it's very fast. And then this Match Perfection from Rimmel, I've not used it before. Again, it's got the little safety thing from Superdrug, put so much on. So it's got like a little felt tippy head thing similar to the LA Girl concealer. So we're just gonna tease that out, squeeze it to get it out. And yeah, coming through. So we're gonna brush this on. So this was their lightest shade, and in the Maybelline side, this is the lightest Maybelline did. So the first impressions of this Rimmel is it's actually feels quite similar to the LA Girl concealer. I like the colours, nice and light for fair skin. I'm going to put that on the eyelid. Yeah, it feels very, very similar to the LA Girl actually. I think it's got a very similar feel because of the little head being the same. And then we will blend it out with a dampened sponge. And we will just quickly set with some of the RCMA translucent powder and see how that sets it. So I definitely am impressed with this Rimmel Match Perfection, what's it called? Yeah, the Match Perfection one from Rimmel. It's really nice. It blended out super easy, and just it feels really nice on the skin. The Maybelline Erase concealer did blend out nicely. The shades aren't as light, so for fairer skin it's not as light a concealer. So if you had fairer skin than me, I feel like the Erase Maybelline one doesn't do any lighter, whereas the Rimmel, it is definitely lighter in colour. So this is the Maybelline Erase concealer side, and this is the Rimmel Match Perfection concealer side. I think of these two, I prefer the Match Perfection from Rimmel on this side. I think it's a cheaper price. It's like $5.99 instead of $7.99, which is the more expensive Maybelline one. And I feel like the Rimmel one actually definitely, so that's the Rimmel one. Yeah, I definitely feel like on this side it blended out really nicely. And if I put this on top of my foundation, I feel like it would sit really good. And it feels like it's concealing but still looking like your skin, so it's not looking cakey. This Maybelline side, I do actually really like it as well. It did blend out very easy, but I feel like it's a little bit more expensive, and I feel like it doesn't sit as nicely on the skin as the Rimmel one is just very, very flawless on the skin. I do feel like the coverage level isn't quite as strong as the LA Girl, but it's very, very similar to LA Girl. And the other thing is they don't have as many shades to pick from as LA Girl has so many shades to pick from. So I am going to give you a little rundown on the order of my preferences of the concealers that we've tried today. So starting off in, how many did I do? I did 6 concealers. So I think in last place is going to be the Collection 2001. It sat quite heavy on the skin. The coverage was okay, but I feel like maybe in the lightest shade number 1 might work better for my skin. It felt like it was quite heavy consistency, but not a full coverage. In a sense, it just felt quite heavy on the skin. But it's still a good concealer for the price, so I think it does still give coverage for the price. Just out of these drugstore affordable ones, I'm going to put it in last position, but I do think that it's still a good concealer for the price. In fifth position, I'm going to put the Miss Sporty Perfect Stay 10 Hours concealer, and the reason for this is it was a nice consistency, but the coverage was very light. The shade was good and the consistency feel was nice, but the coverage level was quite weak, and I do like full coverage concealer, so I feel like this is a good concealer if you're liking a more light concealer look, or if you don't want a full coverage, or you don't have very bad blemishes to cover up. And for the price, I think it's super good. It's like around £2, so very good price point. The next concealer is for me going to be the Be Creative palette concealer, which was this creamy based one. I like the coverage of it. The feel on the skin wasn't super great, but the coverage level was really good. So for the price, these retail for £7.99 from Superdrug full price, but I got it for £3, so it's very affordable, and the coverage was good. The next place is going to be, in third position, is the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Erase. I really like this cushion. It's so soft on the face, and it applies really quickly to like large areas, but also you can apply it small areas as well of the face, and it just glides on really quickly. The main reason this is probably in third is that the shade selection doesn't go super light for fair skinned people, so like people as fair as me or even fairer, this was the lightest they go, and it's not super light. The coverage level is quite good, and you definitely can get a full coverage when you put that on top of foundation, so I put that in third place. In second place, I'm going to put the Match Perfection from Rimmel. This was the first time using this, and I was very impressed with the coverage and the application, and the shade was really nice and it just glided on nicely. I really enjoyed this product and will be using this again. So yeah, this is in second place. And then in number one, and no surprise of this, it's my LA Girl Pro Conceal HD High Definition Concealer. I really love this concealer. I think for drugstore and affordable concealers, this is definitely my number one top pick. The consistency is good. You can build it up. You can do a light touch of full coverage look. You can do multiple things with this concealer. You can use it as highlight down the nose, on the chin and stuff like that. And it comes in so many shades, which means depending if you're super fair like myself or more tanned, you can get a concealer that's going to actually work with your skin tone. And I think for £5, this is actually really great value for money, and yeah, definitely my top pick. And I really recommend you guys trying it out for an affordable drugstore priced concealer. So that was all of my affordable concealers reviewed, and I hope you guys liked this video. My full makeup hasn't been done, it has just been a little swatchy one, so it's a little bit different. We haven't been doing a full makeup look, just concentrating on how the products actually cover the black ring area. So I will be doing a video on high-end concealers and see how they compare to each other and how they perform. But I feel like these affordable ones really are really good value for money, and thanks for taking the time to watch my video, and do subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and want to see more. See you guys in my next video. Bye!